Welcome to Tuesday, the 29th day of March, 2022. This Day Weather Podcast brought to you exclusively by Cowboy State Daily, Wyoming's news authority. Visit them at cowboystatedaily.com or on their Facebook page. Much cooler conditions, wind, rain, snow, thunder, pretty much a very typical scenario for late March heading into early April. It was a good ride. Those last 3 days were phenomenal. But now we're getting back to reality. The pattern is going to go the other way. Colder wind and unsettled conditions as you'd expect this time of year. It'll be a lot colder. Now this is not an Arctic wave. It's just colder Pacific air coming on in. Rain and snow on the plains, snow in the high country, and we're looking at another system Thursday and Friday. What we have are lots of little systems. We don't have one big system. So in a sense, you've got to kind of add the next 7 days together to get an idea of what's going to happen overall. And what's going to happen overall over the next 5 to 7 days is we will get some needed moisture on the plains and in the mountains, but it's going to kind of come in little pockets and little surges. Some of you won't get something out of today's system, but you might get something in Thursday night's Friday system and vice versa. It'll be that type of pattern. But we've got kind of a machine gun shooting out of the Gulf of Alaska, a big upper level low that's going to send small fronts through the Pacific Northwest and the Northern Rockies over the next week. We have another system late Thursday and Friday. Another small system for Montana and Idaho and the Dakotas Saturday. Then another system rolls through the Central and Northern Rockies late Sunday and Monday. And there might be another one around next Wednesday. So not big storms, but little systems. And this will mean an active pattern well into next week. Satellite photo shows the storm that was over California yesterday is moving into southern sections of Utah and northern Arizona. As we have been discussing, the system is elongating, getting stretched out, not getting consolidated. So what that means is you get a trough that's stretched out, and that stretches out the energy. That's why the moisture is going to kind of come in little pockets and patches and won't be continuous. But it's a colder, moist, unstable air mass. This is the type of pattern that'll be a good producer of snow in the mountains, especially the mountains of Utah and Colorado over the next 24 hours, with windy conditions and colder temperatures and showers on the plains. And the radar imagery really shows how stretched out this system is over a lot of geography there. As we go today, we're going to see showers and thunderstorms developing, and this is where the best chance of you experiencing a thunderstorm will be. The blue areas and the red areas there showing the amount of predicted lightning strikes today. So in some areas of the region, you might hear a rumble, a thunder or two. Wind is also going to be a factor. Winds are going to be quite strong up here in southern Montana and the Bighorn Basin of Wyoming today. Very windy in South Dakota, eastern areas of Wyoming, northeastern Wyoming along I-90, and some pretty stout winds down here in New Mexico and into the Oklahoma and Texas panhandle areas. And there's going to be some severe weather today out in the plains ahead of this system, and more severe weather tomorrow as the system heads east. The screen area here shows where the general risk or the chance of a thunderstorm developing today will be. Precipitation, this is through noon Friday, and you can see it's not really heavy, but there's a lot of blue back, especially into Colorado's mountain areas and then into parts of the Dakotas and the upper plains states. So again, on itself, this is not a big storm. But we're going to see several of these come on through over the next week. This is what the snowfall forecast looks like through noon on Friday. Going to be a little bit of snow on the plains, but it's really the mountains that'll see the most significant amounts of snow. This is the system today. You can see it's down near that Las Vegas area, all stretched out. And here's the next little wave that comes in as we get into late Thursday and Friday. And here it is. Not a very well organized system, but it will bring cold, moist air through, and this is a good way to make it snow in the mountains and a little bit of rain and snow on the plains. There's another little wave right here that'll come through Saturday, and here it is right here. This is late Saturday afternoon and Sunday, so for the Pacific Northwest, Idaho, Montana, in the Dakotas, a little pocket of rain and snow will move through maybe northern areas of Wyoming as well. And then here's this next low that's going to come in overnight Sunday into Monday, and here it is, stretched out again. But these systems coming out of the Gulf of Alaska like this are moist. There's cold air aloft. They're unstable. This is what brings occasional mountain snow to help the late season snowpack. So this is a good pattern for the mountains. Looking at a big soaker for the plains is just not in the offing, but we just got to hope that these little systems produce a little bit of moisture on the plains as they move on through. Another system comes in. This is around late Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, a bit of a stronger storm moving through the northern plains. Question marks on this one on where it's going to end up. The overall writing message here over the next week is we're done with those warm, sunny days that we had over the last 3 days. Now it's back to a more typical late March and early April pattern. But you want a pattern like this to get it to snow in the mountains and to get some moisture at least on the plains. But unfortunately, we're going to have to deal with wind, colder temperatures, colder wind chills. Nothing Arctic, but certainly colder and more brisk than what we've gotten used to here lately. Have yourself a good Tuesday. We'll talk to you tomorrow.